Hello guys, how you doing today? How do I label this now? Okay, so welcome to um scaling business, scaling your business with integrity. Okay, so I want to welcome you all. So myself and Dr. Cosmos are writing a book. So I've been trying to get a hold of him to at least do his portion of the videos. My team are transcribing and the book will be out in February. We're going to be doing a book launch for it. My portion will, I just want to get his own out of the way. So I think from 3rd of January, I will start. Yes, we're live. Okay. So from the 3rd of January, hopefully I'll be able to start doing my own. And I'll start doing my own version. So hopefully we'll be able to work on that. How do we do this? By the way, tell me your name and the city you're joining me from. Okay, your name and the city you are joining me from. Okay, anyone, your name and the city you're joining me from. So let me get to know you guys. Also, let me know what you do. Are you a business person? Are you a professional? What type of business do you do? I have Nash from Jos. Nash, how are you? How's Jos? I used to go to visit Jos when I was younger. Precious from San Francisco. Yay! Stephen from Asaba. Biodu from Ado-Ekiti. Divine from Benin. I have Creepy from Toronto. I'll be in Toronto next week. Henry, are you ready for me in Canada? Have you joined the volunteer team for Canada? Let's make sure we have the place packed. Rita from Lagos. Rita, how are you today? Good to see you. Welcome. Everybody welcome. I have Joshua from Ilorin, Kwara State. Okay, welcome. And ladies and gentlemen, we have Dr. Cosmas Maduka in the building. Can we help me celebrate him? It took a lot to get him. He's been traveling from Pakistan to Dubai to Nigeria. The Lord is your strength, sir. And happy birthday to you. Long life, more blessings in Jesus' name.
Thank you very much, Stephen. It's a pleasure to be with you this evening. For sure, it has not been easy, but we're trusting God for the rest.
Glory to God. And by the way, guys, I'm going to be announcing later. A lot of you have been reaching out to me. You want to meet Dr. Cosmos. We now have an online way you can apply. You want him to speak at your conference. You want him to speak at your meeting. We now have a new structure, so you can go online, fill a form, and you send your invitation to an email, and his PAs will be able to vet and then inform him. This will allow us to get more people, but also maximize his time, because some of the speaking engagements he can do a recorded video and send. Some he can do a live show like we're doing now. So that is not all that he has to go physically. As whether you like it or not, but age is no longer on his side. His energy is exceptional, but we have to admit that when you are 65 and above, you know, it's wisdom to manage, the energy better.
Yeah.
Eh,
Thank you, Stephen. Once again, I appreciate those kind remarks, and it's a pleasure to be with you this evening. Um, After a strenuous month, the month has been, very, very tough. But, I have reason to thank God that I accomplished everything that I set out to accomplish this year. So that's the most exciting thing for me. So
mm,
um, I won't say there's anything I've written down on my list or program to accomplish this year that by the grace of God I did not. So for me, it's a successful year. It's not easy to set goals to achieve in the year and follow them through, and you see all of them coming to pass or accomplishing them till the end of the year. So that's the story I can tell now. So for me, it's something that is exciting, even though a little challenging and with a lot of sacrifice, but it worth it all.
mm. I agree. I agree. I mean, for you, it's been a very, very busy, but I'm sure it's fulfilling year. I
Yeah,
think the network went off at some point.
yeah, it's the challenge we are going to be facing because I'm currently.
I think somebody's trying to call him. Uh, maybe someone. Is somebody trying to call you? Because they can't hear you. It's just, is someone trying to call you, I guess. Hello, sir. We can't hear you at all. Hmm. Okay, we can hear you back now.
Yeah, I was saying, I'm in the village. I suspected we may have this challenge with network, but we have to keep a date with it. So if it happened, we just be a little bit patient. It's going to be temporary. I don't think it will be something that can stop us unless we decide to give up upon ourselves. Otherwise, we can still do a great job. It will be going back and front. So I'm ready to take you. So just let me know how you want us to progress.
Okay. So we have about 20 questions for the book.
Okay.
And so I don't know how many we can take today, but we're going to start with at the moment, where are your businesses located, the countries you operate, and the industries that the Charis Group operates? A lot of people only know you for selling cars. Most people don't know the various sectors like agriculture, but I'll allow you to explain.
Okay. You know, like we have all discussed, it's a dream. Like started like a small thing, but that we focus on it, and by the grace of God, it grows on and grow and getting bigger every day into the future. Um, we are we are quite diversified in different area of business, and we try the best we can to see uh, get into industry that we would like to connect to the previous things we are doing to create us the value that we want to achieve. We started business from motorbike, selling component of motorbike, which we did very well. From motorbike component, we moved into selling automobile component. We mastered that very well. We moved into selling automobile itself. From automobile sales, like I've always shared that I have a philosophy of closing one and leaving one open. In business, yeah, so you don't throw away what you have while you are looking for new opportunities that are available. And in business, you must learn to, frankly speaking, expand your tentacles as you are strong in one, because you never know which one is going to support the business ultimately. That is why when I made money, I invested in banking industry. I invested I was the major shareholder in Access Bank, holding over 24% of Access Bank before Harvard. I brought them into the bank in a simple form. Okay, so I bought the majority share of that bank into my name and got them in. Before then, I also invested in another bank called Guidance Express Bank. So if you put it in one way, I would say I'm a banker, because that's how I became a chairman of a credit committee in our bank for 12 years. The former Guidance Express Bank, metamorphosed during the merger and became bank. That is the bank share that I sold that was like the miracle of a share that went bad, that everybody believed I lost a total value, that in one day people started bidding for the share, without any solicitation from me, and that I collected 14 billion naira from a market value of 2 billion in one day. So, and I cashed that. Yeah. Oh, you haven't heard the story, and maybe you need to know about it. When you talk about the power of appreciation and vision and the faith to believe in your vision. So it was a quantum leap for me. What happened in setting out in Guidance Express Bank. So I invested in information technology. So we have a company called Cosmas Technologies. For several years, that company struggled. We supported it. I never threw in towel easily. There was a time we are spending, almost took a loss of over 2 billion, and I almost shut operation down because that was a lot of money then. But today, if I tell you that this is the fastest growing company in our group, it has grown in the last 5 years an average of 20% year in, year out. They declare bonus, they declare dividend, and they pay cash. So collecting cash from that company, and they are still growing and stronger. We had a company called Kosharis Mobility. Kosharis Mobility have the franchise of 6th rental company of Germany. But in this company, we also do car leasing. It's actually a sales outlet for Kosharis Motors, because companies like Lafarge, IBTC, Citibank, Julius Berger's, Huawei, we lease them car. They take 400 car, 800, depending on what the condition is, and they pay on a monthly basis. Contract entered for 4 years or 3 years. We have buyback policy. So most of these multinationals don't want to carry such asset in their book, so they expense it, help them for their tax purposes. So after 4 years, we take the vehicle back, maybe give them a fresh vehicle. So it's called Coscharis Mobility. We do car rental when Google and when what do you call it? Uber came to Nigeria. We provided them the initial vehicle to take off before they start getting people to sign on. Yeah, but we don't want to run it like this. Their policy. We just let them know if they need 100 car, we make 100 car available, and this is the minimum they pay us per day. Whether they make the money, we don't want to enter into their business. So when they start, people sign on. In fact, we are discussing with them now because they are not getting the quality of vehicle that they like. So we have a discussion going currently with them also. So those are kind of businesses we run. We bought a company that has been here for 64 years called Syngenta. It's quoted in New York Exchange. It's a Swiss company that are into agriculture and seed production. That was about over 15 years now or so, and I changed the company name because they diverse from Syngenta to Swiss Biostart. So we are still in the business of seed and agricultural product, but it is this company that I also used to develop Koshari's farm because the XY managing director, we took him on. They used to have only 4 expatriate director. He was only Nigerian director, so we retained him. He still run the company for us. So if you are having problem in agriculture with seed and inputs, we are at the best people to talk to. So these are people who now help to do the feasibility for the land we acquire over the years and find out that the best thing we can grow there is rice. So there is that company kind of that gave birth to Koshari's Koshari's Koshari's
Costa
farm.
Rica. Mm.
We have Koshari's assembler, Koshari's motor assembler, which is we assemble Ford, Renault, Ford, Renault, Geely. These are 3 brands we assemble here in Nigeria. We also assemble a Chinese bus called Joy Long. Okay, so that's one of our subsidiary. Then we have Kosharis Ghana. We do business in Ghana. We've been there for 13 years. We are in Gabon. We are in Ivory Coast. We just opened Sierra Leone about 3 years ago, Koshari Sierra Leone. And in 2021, we bought a company also in Japan. It's called CMMJ, but it's a member of Koshari's group, 100% owned Nigerian company, but that company is currently is OEM dealers. We buy where Toyota, Honda buy, we export, but Japanese regulate you to the market. So currently we have African market from the Central Africa to all West Africa. Not South Africa is not included, but it's a business we are going to develop because I'm looking forward to also see other businesses that are struggling, like in Southeast Asia, where we can take a stake and use the same technology we have here to support them and possibly see if the Japanese will allow us. They don't want you to go beyond your market, otherwise they can cut you off, and you don't want to jeopardize. They prostitute over market and collect, different prices in different markets. So you need to stay within your areas of approval, So it's a little bit restrict business, but you can make money because it's control. So it's not all common. You can't come in and one OEM manufacturer for those products around the world. So those are the kind of businesses we run. We are into the CG Biostat are also into what you call medical equipment. Today we represent We represent the German giant on medical field called Siemens. So
Oh,
yeah, we for medical health in Nigeria, we are. If you go to Obudu, you see a hospital we built there and furnished. It's called Obudu German Hospital, purely with all Siemens equipment. For us, it's not just a business, but it's like a showroom where you see where all the things we are talking about is functional. Recently, the 500 or 600 bed hospital Mrs. Alakeja built, we supply all the medical equipment, uh, you know, about either 25 or 30 million dollars. So we are into those kind of business. We can build a hospital for you from beginning to the end and furnish it with all German equipment, subject to, and we can also give you terms, if there are clear way of means of payment. Their principals support us with that. They can do the design of the hospital. You just let us know you are looking for 800 bed hospital or a 1,000 unit bed hospital. They do the design in the international standard. If you want us to do the construction, or you can take and give your constructor to construct, and we just come and equip it with everything you need. So there are quite a number of hospitals now we are managing, from MLI, every other thing you require to run that business. So we are very diversified group. Yeah. So
wow.
those are the kind of businesses we make with. Yeah.
So, how do you decide when and where to expand your operation globally? How do you decide?
Um, Frankly speaking, there's no what you can call like a model. Uh, we looked at opportunity. If I tell you honestly, 25 years ago, we went into Ghana. What drove that investment was safety. It was a very bad time in this country, and I felt it is too dangerous to put my eggs in one basket. And I wanted to own a business close to Nigeria, where if there's any big crisis here, if I walk across border, I enter my office and run, not start looking for job. so, so, so that was uh, even though it was something that I built up. The first instance was opportunity to go and buy a gold field in Ghana, but when I got to Ghana, that was when Lawrence was still in power, and there was a lot of ricketing vehicles, smoking. Golden Tulip Hotel was just opening, and the following morning, the guy came and said, "Let's go to the thing." I told him, "No, I'm going back to Nigeria." I was wondering what happened. As far as I'm concerned, I saw another gold field that I'm familiar with. Why do I look for something that is under the ground? But there are areas of my core competence that I saw what is happening. So that was when we went to establish Coscharis Ghana and started bringing spare parts into Ghana. The same kind of thing we are doing in Nigeria, we replicated it in Ghana. There's always opportunity of first time in any new business.
Hmm.
Many Nigerians never did this. In fact, I went to Ghana before any Nigerian bank opened operation in Ghana.
Wow.
So a lot of petroleum products were still deregulated. We made some money before they opened them up. So if you are going to Accra International Airport, just look by your right side as you are landing. You will see Coscharis Ghana is on top of our building, a massive place. We share common wall with the Central Bank of Ghana. It's just by um, Spencer Road, by the motorway in Ghana. So that's what we do. So we are into that kind of business in Ghana, and we're also replicating now. We are opening a subsidiary of Coscharis Technology in Ghana, also to follow the same kind of business Coscharis Technology is doing. So it's possible we're also going to take CG Biostat into Ghana, because we have a large a place there that we are trying to fill in with other businesses we are doing, but it's growing and expanded. Recently, we did a feasibility study in rice farming and milling in Ghana. So, if because you from what you've learned already, you don't want you can replicate it easily, you know. So in terms of operation, Ghana is the second large international operation that we have outside of what we are doing in Nigeria. Other ones are still very small in their growing phase, but we are doing everything we can to also let them grow. And 2 years ago, again, we incorporated Koshari's Zim. So we are putting feet on Zimbabwe, but currently I'm working with a partner there, not direct on my own, but we are going to do something and replicate exactly the same kind of thing we are doing in Nigeria in those markets. So there's no single model. We look for opportunity wherever it presents itself. One of the things we look for is do we have trusted people we can, come on their back to, establish business, because you need somebody to take you hands on than going to where you do not know completely. And frankly speaking, I found English speaking country more easy to do business than French speaking country. That is a little bit more complicated for me. More so, I don't speak French and all of those things. So these are things that we looked at. But there's always opportunity that presents itself. So if you find the right kind of partner, somebody you can work with, then you can deal.
The Constaris Technologies, what are the services they provide?
Okay, Cosmas Technology today work with HP. We represent IBM, Dell. Yeah, we work
Wow.
also with Huawei. We are Huawei partners, so they do projects with central bank, with oil company, which they cannot do direct, and all of those things are anchored through our company. Sometimes we get a project of $8 million, $10 million, and things like that. And then most of the big banks also work with us. We supply a lot of their equipment and all of that. So these are so it's purely an information technology company. Yeah.
Wow, that's huge. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
happy. I'm happy we're doing this, and I'm happy that the book will contain this, because a lot of people still today see Charis as just they sell cars.
Yeah.
Most people don't
Yeah,
have the.
because that's what a lot of people relate to. But I can be honest with you today that I have businesses that I will easily give up my automobile business, but I will not give those ones up. Yes, yes, yeah. If you pay me
Wow.
today, I'm ready to sell all my motor business to you. But there are some businesses I have that you cannot, no amount you pay me, you really need to really put some good money on table for me to think whether they worth selling them or not. Yeah.
Wow. Wow. Interesting. What's as a group of company, what do you think is the total number of staff strength across the globe?
Um, I the most of the operations outside of the country don't have too many people. The largest place you can think we have people working will be Ghana, because we are located in all the region in Ghana. We are in Kumasi, we are in Takradu, we are in Tama, we are in Koko, we are in Ho, we are in, so that's and each of those operations take about minimum 7 to 10 people. So we say we have maybe average of 250 people in Ghana, but Nigeria here we have a total staff strength of about 2,500.
Wow, that's huge. That's
So it's,
huge. That's huge. Okay, so how do you balance maintaining company culture while scaling internationally?
It's very simple. Simple in the sense that the rule of corporate governance is not it does not segregate with the country or uniqueness. It's a catalyst that can take you to anywhere in business. Is the intent today anywhere you are? If you don't understand it, first class financial or accountants cannot audit you. Today we are audited by X and Young, so we are we are really professional in the things we are doing. So, and you will not attract the quality people that, so you need to be very clear. We scaled up. We didn't start with this, but we have scaled up that we are running very professional to be able to be taken serious by any international organization that we do business with. So we follow the same culture that we built here in Nigeria in playing by the rule and, in consistent manner, have system and processes in place to run the business and understand the role on a place of the corporate governance in running such organization. That's the thing actually that differentiates us among many people who thought we are competing with them.
I like that. Among many people who thought we are competing with them. So it's in their mind.
Yeah, yes. Right.
So how many years did you bootstrap your business with your own funds before seeking external investment?
Coming again with the question,
How many years did
yeah.
you bootstrap your business with your own personal funds before seeking external investment?
Frankly speaking, from day one, after I, broke up with my senior brother, I tried to get finance from bank. I had very bad experience. Bad experience that I meant is that um, um, it was difficult finding finance from the bank. In addition to when you find the finance, because you are a very small organization, you almost be working for the banks. They take all the money and leave you with nothing. And the next thing they do is that they ask you to characterize everything. So, and they are not willing to lend you money and take a chance on you. They would rather show you a property to buy or a land to come and deposit with them. That property you deposit with them is not generating you any revenue. You only having good feeling you own this property, but you borrow against it at a very high cost. So in between the line, I just told myself, this doesn't make sense. I'm going to work hard, build capital, plow it back into the business from internal generated capital. I started running strongly. And I will be very honest to you, we built Kosharis working with 200 naira internal generated capital. We never borrowed money from bank until we built the building in 68 Adiola Odeko in Victoria Island. All of those were done by internal generated revenue.
How many
I
years
forced myself.
did that take?
Eh?
How
It
many
took
years?
about, I took about 15 years.
15 years.
15 years, yeah. 15 focused, consistent growth of life. I built that building in Victoria Island, still living in Ajegule, because I separated myself
From
from,
the business.
self-gratification and running a company and growing a company. I was still living in Ajegule when I owned that 68 Adiola Deco. And everybody felt I should live in Ikoyi. But for me, business, I separate business complete. That's one of the area many young people don't get it right, you know, to be able to defer their gratification. They are in a hurry to show they have arrived.
Yeah.
That's very big, what I can call pitfall. That really, because business require capital, and it doesn't matter the knowledge you have. So it is that capital that you see on a consistent basis that will give you muscle to give you a negotiating power, with other people. We What I worked hard to do, rather than borrowing from the bank, I look for what we call supplier's credit, which is still a loan, but it's like an interest-free loan that have no guarantee, but only came from credibility. So that was one of the things that really made me stronger than who I am, because my principals could trust me and ship merchandise to me. Banks are seeing that money. They know nobody gives you things for free. So whichever way I'm getting it, they don't know, but they're beginning to see, are beginning to demonstrate strength by the turnover they see and cash they see and things happening on a consistent basis. Then before they started lending me money. But all the time, like I said, I've always growing up as a young man, have ambition to grow and run operation where money should not be an inhibition for me to do business. People ask me, do people think like that? I told them I don't know, but that's where that's where I was thinking. So it was a goal I set for myself, and to be truth, I accomplished it by 2008. And from 2008, I borrow on a negative pledge where all the banks in Nigeria lend me money with open account, and because I never let anybody down, so I'm able to take businesses in different level, and it has never made me to dance naked. It has never made me to do anything that I cannot discount. I've never. The first shocker Jehovah had while he was working with me is that he said something I didn't like one day. I wrote him one check and clear all my account and asked him to return my collateral. He came to my office in Mazamaza, told me that I don't behave like Nigerians. I told him that the Japanese trained me, because the operation we run is when we get angry, we overproduce. I told him I wouldn't want to start auditing the account. It's only when after I pay you, then so that you don't say I don't want to pay. I pay whatever you say. I pay you. Then I can now get auditors to come and audit whether you are owing me or I'm still owing you. Yeah. So, and it left an incredible mark on him. I did the same thing with Wema Bank. I did it to the managing director of Wema Bank. He also came to my office. So, once you can bluff people in that way, it's a winning formula also, and it's a strength. But when you are owing people and they are calling you and you are hiding, you are making story, it puts you in a weaker position. They pursue you and badmouth you. So that strength has been one of the things that helped me grow the business to where we are.
Wow, that's really powerful. As at 2008, when you are now able to access credit on a negative pledge, how many years was Coscharis as at 2008?
Coscharis was incorporated, the name Coscharis was incorporated in the year um, um, 2000, 2000, because I was working with my former partner, David Nwosu, because Dave were dissolved that Coscharis came to board. So you can say about 8 years. But that is not the age of the company, because we keep on, we keep on growing. And what do you call it? Um, just like
Metamorphosize.
that's
You can,
correct. For a
yes.
period of yeah.
The So that means that the first one, the incorporation you did with your brother before you then moved to Dave was what year? That should be in the 70s.
It was in the 70s. I started my own business in 1976. That's when my uncle
1976.
gave me 200 naira, and that was when I teamed up with my senior brother and we formed the company, Maduka Brothers, which didn't really last 1 year because
Mm.
within 6 months, parted way. In fact, after I broke up with my senior brother, I had also worked with one Edwin Ozochukwu, and then parted way with Edwin Ozochukwu and worked with another company we call C&B. It was at the end of that organization that Cosdave emerged. So Cosdave was the longest one before Coscharis.
How many
And from
years?
Coscharis,
How many years was Cos Dave?
uh, you say Cosdave came up like 19, Cosdave should be 78 to to about 2000.
Wow,
Yeah,
that was long.
yeah.
And what was your equity in Cos Dave?
Uh, um, let me. I think maybe I think I'm making mistake about Coscharis. I can That information I'm giving you may not be exactly correct. I may need to check up that
Mm.
those dates and to be very sure. Because there
Yes, you can
wasn't.
send it.
Eh?
You can send it to us once you have, because all this is going to the book. I will need the record to be
Oh,
correct.
sure, sure,
Yes.
sure.
Yes.
Yeah. In fact, Elder can give it to you
Yes.
because he had all those data. I want to be very sure about it to let you have them. So, the question you asked was the capital, because Dev was really not big campaign, because I would say we made our quantum group from Coscharis, and from the story I've told, the quantum group we made in Coscharis, we are tiny organization, but because I structure Coscharis proper, that's why I tell people also, anything you want to do, because I structure Coscharis, it was a small company that so many people thought was a big company. Because when in 19, in 19, uh, uh, actually, sorry, what did I told you Coscharis was 2000. Definitely not 2000, because they
I
definitely
thought
not
as
2000.
much. I thought as much.
Definitely not 2000, because 1978, 1978, 2 years after 1978 was 1980. So 1980 was when Coscharis was incorporated.
Uh-huh. Now,
Yeah,
now
yeah,
that makes
1980.
sense.
Yeah,
That makes
1980.
sense.
Yeah,
So between 1980 and 2008 was about 18 years
yeah,
of charity before you started accessing liquidity on a negative pledge,
that's correct.
you know. Because I want those numbers to read, because a lot of young people who read the book, a lot of young people also watching us can learn about the time
The
frame.
process
Because if
is, yeah,
people
it took,
start business today
yeah,
and then if it's not working in 2 years, they
yeah,
think the riches from the village is their
that's
problem.
correct.
They
Yes,
want to give up instead of
yeah,
understanding. Some things are just process. It just
yeah,
takes some time
sure.
before some things work,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah,
Thank you so much for giving us all this information.
yeah.
If you are inspired, can you type "I'm inspired" in the comment section? Type "I'm inspired." So, what financial principle have helped your business remain profitable over the years?
Well, um, if I want to tell you one of the main things that growing up Any good business person, any truly born entrepreneur will look for product that is not available, because that's where you can create a value when things is in a scarce commodity. Growing up as a young man, I found out that one of the most scarce commodity in Nigeria is the product you call integrity. Very scarce. It's not in printing supply. And I knew if I can exploit it and show that not just words, but that is who I am and what I have, that it will make me money. And I exploited it. I exploited it in the sense that I was fortunate in my early 20s. I met the Japanese who, frankly speaking, taught me integrity. People may not like me to say this because people tell me, you're a Christian, why the Japanese taught you integrity? Because I've seen people who are in church that default on their commitment, and they don't feel any damn about it. But I've met Japanese, and I knew an individual that took his life because he could not keep his commitment. So in Japanese business model, you don't write agreement. It's the last thing to do. You shake hands. When you shake hands, it's as good as anything. So that is why when if you Japanese is a play, I really thank God that I met them, because this is when I was young, my brain is open, I was willing to learn, and that's only reason why I said life is a school. So I met the Japanese, and I knew that they take this thing you call time serious. Everything is they don't do America. You don't go to Japanese store and see $90.99, $18.87. It's $20, $50, $100, $1,000. They are like German, precise, no point, 000. Precise. So if a Japanese gives you appointment that we're going to meet by 9 o'clock, by 8:45 at most, he is in a coffee shop next to your door. He's timing the time. By 9 o'clock, he will not come 2 minutes earlier or 1 minute earlier. He will knock at your door. So they don't tell you, oh, we didn't know there's traffic. It is not, it's a culture. They don't read Bible. They don't tell you by the grace of God. They don't tell you by the grace of God. Neither do they tell you inshallah. They don't understand all of those languages we take for excuse. So when you keep that time, they are taking note. When you start business with them, they won't meet you in their office. The first place they meet you is at a coffee shop, and they are still observing you. If they see you to be very serious, they will meet you in the office on the ground floor. If that business goes well, after 1 or 2 years, a general manager will join. If that business goes well, by the 5th year, they will take you at the first floor of their building, and one of the director will join. Then you know you're beginning to arrive. They're beginning to accept you. Then it got to the 7 or 8 years where the president of the company joined in your meeting. Then they have accepted you. So you graduate in the relationship. It's not something that happened from day one. Nobody gave you that benefit of the doubt. So, by the same way, it starts from just keeping time. So when Nigerians are making an appointment and somebody tell you, I'm on my way, I'm on my way, and he's sitting in his office tell you, I'm on my way, I'm on my way. When I meet those kind of people, I just pinch myself. I said, can I really do business with this person? Because they don't understand it. And that's
Yeah,
one of the major reasons. And when you are doing business with a Nigerian, all they tell you is that, Shebi, I'm owing you. I will pay you now. I can't kill myself. I can't. All is understand is there are many young people I'm mentoring today. 80% of them still have not understood this. They are still, and I told them, I said, you can't go far because this is Nigerian mentality. It's African mentality. All you are concerned is that you sure you will pay, but you do not understand that due date is non-negotiable. You have limit. You are still very limited. So you need to have reserve money and not to be in a hurry to grow to achieve this position. And that is to say, you will always be conservative in your approach. Give yourself some room for unforeseen circumstances, but nothing should make the due date be negotiated. So when a Japanese made a payment, he will be happy to hear that the roof of your house caved in. You have typhoon or tornado, but you kept a payment obligation. But you cannot say, yesterday my house burned and the roof gave in. I tell you, but the payment date, you know it's going to be today. The money should not be in your house the day the roof caved in. Such excuse is not such excuse is not accepted. It's totally unacceptable. So, but how do they regard you to be credible? He regards you to be credible because he learned that your roof caved in yesterday, but you made a payment obligation today. That reinforces you understand the game. He's going to go extra mile with you. But if you use that as an explanation, it is not accepted. So a man that have invited me for dinner, visited me in Nigeria, I've been with him. His name is Mr. Machishita. He got a point where he had an obligation he could not meet because he was disappointed in his internship. He wrote a note to his suppliers and said, I'm so sorry that I disappoint you, I let you down, and I lose face. He took a knife, what they call harakashi, put it in his stomach, draw it into two, and that is dead. The Japanese has been doing this if they don't meet obligation. Before the fundamentalists start killing themselves, the Japanese has been committing suicide. Not because they feel, because they cannot be afford to let themselves down. That's the level of commitment. That's when I said they taught me commitment, not church. Because the church people just tell you to pray, that God understands, and that it's by the grace of God. But without making plans on what they need to do. So I learned it and I exploited it. So people don't get credit in Japan. The first thing you do is that you have to open letter of credit. Sometimes there are products that their delivery is 180 days. Some of them, their delivery is 270 days. But that letter of credit has to be on ground before production starts. They will not start order without letter of credit. This is where I competed big men who are strong in the industry before me, because they need to look for money to put letter of credit. But when these people knew I understand commitment, and I apply commitment with non-negotiable, so I started getting that 8 months, 9 months credit, because they will start my production without letter of credit, because they know I will not cancel order. Now, that in itself is a profit, because if you open letter of credit, you tie money down for 9 months. I have leverage of that money you tie down in 9 months. I can only use that credit terms even to kill you when we come into a competition. I will just sell at your cost of fund and I've made money. Now, it doesn't now stop only on that producing for me without letter of credit, but that they will ship and wait for 45 days or 90 days from the bill of lading to be paid. So how are you going to compete me? Because they won't start product and they run zero stock. So they won't even produce for you without getting your letter of credit or cash in advance. But they will not only produce for me without letter of credit, but they will also ship and wait for me to pay. So if you read my book, From Trials to Triumph, somebody interviewed one of my suppliers in Japan. Ambassador Odo wrote the book From Trials to. The man said, Koshari's money arrived, payment arrived like our express train called Shinkansen. That's the way they describe it. So this gave me unprecedented advantage among my peers. So if I'm going to work with any company, I say, can you take reference from this organization? These are people I've worked with for 40 years, for 20 years, and they will tell you that this is who we are. And that, so credibility, or what I call integrity, is a prerequisite for building a big business that you cannot imagine, and the growth you can make.
Wow. Guys, can we put our hands together for Dr. Cosmas? I think these are what people pay a lot to go to Harvard to learn, and you are learning it for free. Come on, let me celebrate Dr. Cosmos one more time for sharing this. I really believe this book will change the world and really help us, particularly in this part of the world. How do you handle economic downtime and maintain business sustainability?
Economic downtime will always come saving in any business, because if you understand the breaker principle, which is where I learned the secret to run my life and my business. Ecclesiastes 3:1 said, for everything under the sun, there is a time and there is a season. Saving for how many things? For everything under the sun, with no exception. There is a time and there is a season. And that means nothing is permanent in life. Good times are not permanent. Bad times are not permanent. And as long as you live in life, you are going to meet good time, you are going to meet bad time. Nothing isolates you from it. So, time is the duration of your life and my life. But seasons are different phases you have in your life and in my life. And business has the same thing. And the way, if you want to study everything, you study it by nature. Nature teaches you there are 4 seasons in a year. They run for 4 months. Life begins at spring. That is where life blossoms. And this is a season in your life or in your business we call a season of dependency. Dependency is where you need help from the outside world. You need people to coach you. You need to be taught. You need to be trained. You need to be fed. You require help. The second season of your life or business is the season we call spring, summer. At the summer of your life, you have beginning to discover yourself, where your vision, you can now begin to give your vision to people. You are not, this is now a season of, the first season is dependence. The second season is independence. Now you are free from people. Nobody gives you vision. You are, it's like your life is bruising. You are running like an autopilot. The third season of your life and your business is the phase we call interdependence. Interdependence, you have moved from dependence to independence and to interdependence. This is a season of like the fall, where life is going through some, slowing down. You see the trees start shading off tree. Businesses have it, our life has it, but that's not the end of your life.
Mm.
The last phase is the season of winter. And this is the season where things seems to be dead. Things go down on the ground. It becomes very cold, scorching winter. So what we need to understand, that's why the English people say that tough time never lasts. It's tough people that last. In that winter time of your life, you need very strong growth to stay alive and overcome that season. So it's about withstanding seasons. That season will come. You keep hope alive that after this season, there's going to be the best time of your life. So if people understand this and understand that business go through them, then it help you to know that during the summer time, you don't throw your winter jacket away, because winter is going to come. And that's why you should have reserve capital in your business to be able to absorb a shock, because you don't know the time that shock is going to come. But whether it will come or not, it will come. So this is why planning is key to being successful in business. There's going to be downtime in your life, but each downtime create multi-billionaires, because those who manage this well are people. During the downtime, many businesses close, shut down, and people vacuum that business. The person that manage well come up more stronger and bigger and control and dominate. It's an opportunity to take over. So it comes in different form. You can call it foreign exchange crisis. You can call it government policy and whatever. So the best thing to do is in business, you must plan and put some shock, some observing things to observe shock in your business. But whether they will come or not, Jesus in his teaching in Matthew 7:24 to 27, he said, every man that heareth these sayings of me and keepeth them, will be like a man who built his house upon the rock. The rain will come, the flood will come. He went down and said, every man that hearing this saying of mine and did not keep them will be like a foolish man who built his house upon the sand. The rain will come, the storm will come. So whether you build on the rock or you build on the sand, they are going to be tested by the same water and rain. If you do what the Lord tells you to do, your faith and everything you claim will be tested for authenticity. But the only guarantee is that if you build on the rock, then it will withstand the rain and the flood. If you build on the sand, it will not withstand it because they are going to be tested with something. So where you build now become your guarantee position, but nothing insulates you from trials of life, from winter, and the weather doesn't take Stephen permission or Cosmas permission to come. If you dare any weather, it will kill you. So you prepare for the weather to come. It come unannounced. It doesn't tell you I'm going to snow on Wednesday. So these are where plans are important in our business, in our life, to be able to absorb shock. Because for everything under the sun, so when you are in your winter time, and for those young people listening to me or those running business, your business may be in the winter time of your life now. And all I can tell you is don't throw in towel. Just look for heavy clothes and put it on. And outlast this season in the next 4 months. After the winter, there come the best moment of life, spring, where life begins. So, and life go through the same cycle all through life. Nobody started something and never have downtime. Many times I tell my story and people thought I was born Coscharis and life was gone blue. People never knew that landlord has kicked me out in my home. That is the story people are not familiar with. That landlord has come and locked up my shop because I couldn't pay my business rent for where I was doing business. The worst thing that can happen to you is to be in the building of an angry landlord. I saw the man coming. I hid under the counter. My boy told him that I was not there. It's okay, come out. He was about to lock me up inside the shop. I got up. I thought the man would change his mind because I had shame that I hid it. He said, please come out. And I came out and locked me out. And that man lived to see me being a billionaire. So these are phases of life that you must go. But you must have the courage to know that these things come to test your resolve. Whether nobody has failed until that person give up. You are never defeated until you refuse to get up from where you have fallen. So that is the point of your defeat. If you still believe in yourself and saying, it doesn't matter, I made a mistake, I mismanaged these resources, but I'm going to try again, you will always get up. And it's scriptural that a righteous man falleth 7 times and rises 7 times. That last time you rose is the mystery that the devil cannot understand. But when you have a weakness and you said, well, I've tried this several times, it doesn't work, I can as well accept it because God understands. It's not about want of try. That is when you are defeated. Pick up your spirit and fight again. Until that time, you are not defeated. Because the opponent didn't know when you're going to give him an uppercut.
Yes, sir.
So, many times, champions does not win in each round, in all the rounds. But he won the battle. He may have been knocked down 3 times in a fight. But on the 10th round or 11th round, you give your opponent knockout and you become a winner. So, don't give up because things doesn't go your way day one. You may start and you mismanage integrity. You don't show character. If you learn, admit you made a mistake, and say, from now on, I'm never going to do things like that. Anybody that does business with me will go to bed and sleep and know that I am a man that can be relied upon. You can change the narrative all by your mind and head, and then you will make the difference that the world is looking for.
Wow. Come on, guys, let's clap one more time for Dr. Cosmos. This is huge. Now, somebody was asking here that can you confirm that the current generation of Japanese have continued with that culture or they've changed?
Let's be very honest. The 90% of the Japanese new generation continue with that culture, but because of the social media, the things have begin to change. Some of the Japanese are known as people who are married to their organizations. You don't dissuade them by small add-up income. But the young generation beginning to change job. They beginning to prostitute over job. The older generation of Japanese get to a company, married to that organization, raise his children, the children join that organization. That's they support, they are like a family, support that institution and give everything they have on it. 10% are not following that system because they are getting influenced by social media, and they're now beginning to change job from here to there. But the older generations also keep watch on young people like that, because there are people also who cannot accept